He's getting older.
Pour some sugar on me!
Oh, hit the volume button!
But not wiser.
Come with me if you want to live!
This is The Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to The Lefty Show. I am your host, Lefty. Glad to be here with all of you today, Thursday, the 31st of July in the year of our Spaghetti Monster 2014 for episode number 66 of The Lefty Show. The last day of July. July's been a good month. Good month for The Lefty Show. Good month all around. Celebrated a great birthday as we bring July to a close and head on into August. Hope to do some big things with both my YouTube channel and The Lefty Show. Thank you all for watching. Everybody that's been watching, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can go to find the show in its YouTube formation. Thank you to everyone that has been and will share the show with your friends, family, and co-workers. If you want to do that, you can head on over to leftyshow.podbean.com to subscribe manually to the RSS feed. You can also go to your favorite Android podcasting app of choice, search The Lefty Show, or if you want to help out the show and help it grow a little bit more, download iTunes, head on over to the iTunes store, search in podcasts for The Lefty Show, subscribe to us there, and be sure to rate the feed. Thank you to everybody that's been following me on Twitter. @Lefty643 is where you can do that. Stay up to date on all the latest and greatest Lefty Show news. And thank you to everybody that's been donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions if you want to help out the show in that way. I was going out for a run yesterday, and I was running around, and I saw something that I had never seen before. Or maybe it's one of those things that you have seen, and you just don't know it until, you know, you're not doing anything at just the right time, and then you realize, holy shit, I've never seen that before. Right? Like, you've seen it before, but you've been doing other things, and you never noticed it. And now, you know, your mind's clear, or like me, you're trying to focus on running, and then you see it, and you're, what the fuck is that? And I saw, again, never seen it before, or at least never been consciously aware of it before, and I was perplexed by this very simple thing. And it honestly gave me pause while I was jogging. I had to stop, and I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing, and I'm just... okay, and then I continued on my run. And brief aside on running, here's the thing. I'll get into it later. Change my mind. What I saw, what I had never seen before, was somebody was watering a patch of grass. Somebody was watering a lawn. Not, you know, that's not the thing I've never seen before, but the sprinkler was one of those circular sprinklers, not the like the tidal wave sprinkler that just, it's like a hose with a bunch of pokes in it, and then it rotates back and forth and back and forth. It's like a moving wall of wailing walls, the wailing wall of water sprinklers, and then the Israelis are going to shell it. Don't put the wailing wall of sprinklers in your front lawns, because the Israelis might show up. Excuse me, does this need bombing? Are you putting rockets here? As the UN said that you're housing civilians here? Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna bomb the shit out of it. We're gonna shell it. All right, cool. 15 dead. All right, let's go on about our business. Do not put the wailing wall of sprinklers in your lawn. It was the circular to the left, and then as it ratchets back to the right. And the weird thing that I saw was that this thing was on a tripod about 4 feet up in the air. This sprinkler, the circular, that sprinkler was up on a 4-foot tripod. And I was taken aback, because I thought, I've never seen anything like that before. What are you putting a sprinkler on a tripod for? And as I continued, I thought about it more and more, and I realized that person must think they're doing something really ingenious That person must think, I figured it out. Fuck you, physics. I'm going to get you. Here's how it's going to work. For those of you that don't know, and how you don't know this, I don't know, a sprinkler usually operates on the ground level, and it's angled, the trajectory of the water is angled upwards such that there's the spigot flattens out the spray of the water perpendicular to the ground so that there's an even coverage of water spray given the angle. It angles it upward, but the spray is flattened out so that even right next to the sprinkler, the water is getting down to the ground. Otherwise, if it was just a simple jet stream, you would have little rings of lawn that wouldn't get properly watered, and that would look weird, and it would look like your lawn had tits, like the dry spots would be the areola of your lawn's tits. And that's all well and good when you're on the ground level. But this person decided, and I did a Google search, and apparently they're being sold. Somebody decided, hey, what if we put it up on a tripod? That would give us more. I mean, you take basic high school physics, mechanics, you learn that if you're throwing a ball 45 degrees at however many meters per second, and because I was taught physics in meters per second, because fuck the imperial system, was the gravitational constant is 32 feet per second squared or something like that, and everything would be in feet per second but miles per hour. It's much easier using the metric system because it's just meters per second squared, or foot meter, or kilogram meters per second squared. All that stuff for force and all those great things. Newt. So the person thought, you put it up on a tripod, you put the sprinkler up on a tripod, and you will cover more area. And you'll cover more area. You will use theoretically the same amount of water, but you will cover more of your lawn with the same amount of water. It's more efficient. And the thing that flashed in my mind was work smarter, not harder. This is more of this efficiency crap that you hear from a lot of people. A lot of people like to throw this little idiom around. Well, work smarter, not harder. And that's probably what this person thought they were doing. Like, I'm going to work smarter, more efficient, and not harder or inefficient, because it doesn't make any sense to keep going around moving the sprinkler to cover my lawn. What if I just put it on a tripod and I cover more area? Work smarter, not harder. And sometimes I have an issue with work smarter, not harder, because of course it's an idiom, it's just a truism, or a cliche. You just say it whenever, because the guy that gets a 2x4 and places it as the fulcrum on the cat's paw of his hammer to try to get to change the angle from which you're trying to leverage a nail out of another piece of wood, that guy is working smarter, not harder. Because anybody can try to you try to get the paw or the claw under the head of the nail, and then you try to wrench it out, and you can't do it because you're applying a lot of lateral force. I guess that would be torque then. You're trying to torque the steel nail or galvanized steel nail. But you put a 2x4 right next to the nail, and then you angle the claw of the hammer, and you hold that new 2x4 firm. What you've done is change the angle that you're applying force. Now your force is a lot more vertical than lateral, and you work, well, smarter and not harder. It's a lot easier to pull out nails doing that than it is just the old-fashioned way. It's a cool little carpenter's trick that I learned. And that's working smarter, not harder. That's a common sense, okay, this is cool how this works. All right, I like that. But then there's we're going to add shit on top of things to make it look efficient, but it isn't really efficient. And you can go all the way to electric cars. Oh, electric cars are great. Smarter, not harder, baby. Yeah, efficiency, yeah. It's just electricity, clean burning. I say, well, yeah, it looks efficient at this. When you truncate the trail of inefficiency and pollution at the car, sure. Yeah, you're working smarter, not harder. You're being more efficient. That's all great. Where does that electricity come from? Where does it come from? It doesn't come from the sky. Didn't appear through the ether. It came from a power plant. And because you're probably an uppity white person, you don't want those power plants anywhere near your bed. Not in my backyard. Okay, well, we're going to have to put it out in the boonies. But that means there's going to have to be a lot of switching stations and transformers and power lines to carry the power to you. And there's going to be a lot of loss. 30%, I think I read. There's a 30% inefficiency, or you have to send 130% if you want a certain amount of power at an outlet. More than 100% of that power had to be transmitted to you. So you had to generate 130% of the power you want, of the watts you need. You have to generate 130% of what you need at the station to send it to you to account for all the loss. Is that working smarter, not harder? It looks a little different when you're like, oh, well, oh, yeah, what about all this? Oh, well, I guess, I don't want to talk about that. Now, of course, you want to talk about the actual amount of hydrocarbons and carbon footprint and all that stuff. That's a different discussion. But suffice it to say, smarter, not harder is used as a Band-Aid sometimes to cover up just people adding shit onto other things and calling it a new thing. No, your electric car is still polluting. It's just polluting in a much different way than internal combustion engine. Yeah, you're more efficient. The smarter part of work smarter, not harder, but you're still polluting. The energy required to power your vehicle is still polluting the earth in some way. And similarly, when you add verticality to when you start the trajectory of your sprinkler 4 feet off the ground rather than 2 inches off the ground, whatever it is for, those sprinklers that you can move around. When you do that, yeah, you cover more lateral distance, of course. But, or at least the leading edge, the farthest out you can reach, your furthest reach increases dramatically. You can calculate it. Very simple equations. I believe it's, oh, never mind. I don't remember the equation. It's simple stuff. 1/2 mv squared. Oh no, what is that? Ah, shit. Well, the math cancels out. Suffice to say, it would be simple if I wasn't an idiot. Dumbass. But what this person didn't know, what this person didn't account for, and I realized was, wait a minute. These sprinklers are designed so that everything, when they're on the ground level, everything gets covered. What's right next to, the blades of grass that are right next to the sprinkler get water on them because that jet is flattened out so that there is some that goes straight down into the grass and soil immediately next to the sprinkler. But when you raise that up 4 feet in the air and don't change anything, all you're doing is creating, you're in fact exasperating the tit effect on your lawn. You're giving your lawn bigger nipples. You're giving your lawn, instead of cute little, quarter-sized nipples, you're giving your lawn National Geographic, like, sand dollar nipples. Like, holy, like, they're pancakes. Like, what the fuck? I've never had the surprise of having those revealed to me in person, but I've seen them on the internet. And they don't look good. I'm talking about the silver dollar size nipples. I don't know about silver dollar size patches of dry grass on a lawn. But that's what I looked at, when I came back on my return leg, I looked at the trajectory of the water, and there was a 4-foot radius, no, probably 5 to 6 foot radius around the tripod that wasn't getting water. Now, it hasn't been an unconscionably hot summer in Chicago, and there's been a good amount of rain, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But if you were to try to do this in Arizona, you would have 6-foot radius or 6-foot diameter nipples on your lawn. If it was 98 degrees every single day, dry heat, no humidity, no rain, the driest of the dry heat, you would have 6-foot diameter nipples on your lawn. Because somebody went to the store thinking, well, work smarter, not harder. Who do? And burp came out of nowhere. oh, I'm going to work smarter and not harder, and so I'm just going to put it on a tripod, and that means I can cover more area of my lawn because I want to make it seem as though, because we're going out to change, and here's the part that's funny to me. It's because this is the not harder part, because, going out to move the sprinkler around, that's hard. That's working hard. Like we've become so self-important that going to move a fucking sprinkler around a front lawn is a big fucking deal. It's a travesty that you have to put down porn or turn off ESPN for the 5 minutes it takes. Shit, if it takes you 5 minutes, what are you, in a wheelchair? For the 30 seconds it takes for you to walk outside, turn off the sprinkler, or if you just happen to catch it at the right time, you can walk up behind it. There's an angle of approach where you're not getting wet. You grab it, you move it, you set it down, you go back in and continue to crank them out. You can be right back to it. Oh, but that's harder. Oh, I got to work smarter. I can't work harder. I'm going to work smarter. So I'm going to get a tripod because, all that matters is the leading edge, the farthest distance. Or further? What was the thing in Finding Forrester where the young up-and-coming black writer stuck it to the mean old white, probably Jewish English professor? He totally got him in that scene. He just, right there for you, big stroker. Further relates to distance and farther. Or farther is distance. Farther is distance, further is like a theoretical expression, I think. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know. Not a writer. But this person was like, oh, well, look, I've increased by 50% the radius, the outer edge of my water coverage on my lawn. Oh my God, I'm using the same amount of water. I don't have to move it as much. Oh, I'm working smarter, not harder. And I wish for 150-degree heat. I want global warming to happen right now because I want that guy to wake up one day and be like, why are there 6-foot nipples, 6-foot areolas on my fucking lawn? Why does my lawn look like it has some kind of crazy nipple disease? What the fuck is going on? Because there's no such thing as a free lunch, my friend. My friends, no such thing as a free lunch. And that's true in every respect of life. There's no such thing as a free lunch in physics with regards to energy, in chemistry. You don't get something for nothing. In economics, there's no such thing as something for nothing. No such thing. It does not exist. Everything you do, if you think you're doing it better, you're actually doing it worse somewhere else. You may think that you may be fine with the ways in which you were doing it worse in other areas. You may be like, oh, well, that's acceptable. It's acceptable that, let's say, let's keep it in a business sense, okay? Let's say you're Comcast and customer service doesn't mean anything to you because you've got the monopoly in so many areas. It doesn't matter that people are pissed off because what the fuck are they going to do? Satellite internet? Pfft, get the fuck out of here. So to protect your bottom line, you're going to work smarter, not harder. You're not going to pay gobs of money for customer service because theoretically speaking, you pay a little bit more for customer service. You probably, on average, get a little bit better customer service. But you're Comcast. You've got shit on lockdown all over the country. So what do you care about people being pissed off? They're not going anywhere. So you'll cut your expenditures on customer service and your bottom line will look a lot better. Investors will be a much happier with how you allocate finite resources. You've worked smarter, not harder. Now you think you're doing something better, but in reality, that does not change the fact that your customer service objectively sucks now. It's awful. It's bad. Bad. But you are okay with that. But still, that just because you are okay with the way in which whatever you're doing more efficiently hurts you otherwise does not mean that it doesn't hurt you otherwise. There's no such thing at all as a free lunch in our society. There's no such thing at fucking all as a free lunch. You can't just go around saying, oh, well, I'm going to make this better. I'm going to create this from nothing, and I'm going to do this, and this is going to be the greatest thing ever, and it's not going to hurt anybody, and this is going to be the best thing around for whatever it is that we're doing. This is going to be the best thing. This is going to save us. This is like free money, man. This is free money. This is free energy. This is really efficient energy. Oh my God. And it gets back to all the time I talk about efficiency and how it is the bane of the existence of humans in every single facet of our way of life. Efficiency is a digital concept. We are an analog species. And despite efficiency being really good for the bottom line, being really good for energy consumption or energy output, you really want to have an efficient power supply, or you want to have a really efficient electrical grid so that your coal plants don't have to work harder, or your nuclear plants don't have to work harder, less maintenance, all that stuff. You want really efficient stuff. Okay, well, that's going to cost real people. That's in the digital world, that's great, but it's going to cost real people with real tax burdens and real mortgages and real family members whom depend on them. You're going to cost them real jobs. And again, that may be acceptable to you, but it still doesn't change the fact that it's bad. So you're working smarter, not harder. You think you're working more efficient by increasing the diameter or the farthest reach you have on your sprinkler, right? By putting it up on a tripod. Yeah, more efficient. It's great. Okay. Well, what you don't realize yet is that you're giving your lawn big-ass unwatered nipples. Dry nipples. Dry nipples hurt, man. It sucks. They get all crusty and stuff on there. You get crackled over there. It's not a nice thing. It's bad. Now, you're going to find that out one day. You're going to go, oh, shit. I was more efficient in my use of water, technically speaking. I didn't have to expend as much energy moving the thing around. All right. Oh, shit. But there's this definite downside. We've tricked ourselves. We've tricked ourselves as a society into thinking that there is such a thing as free lunch. We've allowed, Wall Street was the biggest thing. Oh, my God, all these things we can do, and we can do the credit default swaps and the synthetic credit default swaps and all those things. We can do all this. Oh, my God, and we're just making money out of nowhere, and it's fantastic. This can't hurt anybody. It's completely synthetic. Oh, my goodness. And then margin calls. Done. Closed down. Cleaned down. Pension funds. Investment firms. Done. All of them. Done. We'll cover a story in the news later. Another $1 billion fine for another bank for fucking with the economy. Fraud. Just an irreverent fraud. And, of course, nobody's going to jail. There's no... It's time we all accept efficiency is not the be-all, end-all answer. It's just not. If we are going to continue as a society where people contribute and try to get money as an expression of their value or the value of their work, and then they can get other things that they value with that money, and they are going to try to live just a comfortable life. If we're going to do that, and we're going to keep fucking, because we fuck a lot, if we're going to keep doing that and churning out kids, efficiency isn't the answer. It's going to fuck us. No such thing as a free lunch. Efficiency may sound great. It may sound great. You think, oh, man, I use less water to water my lawn? Fucking amazing. Yeah. Then your lawn has big, hairy nipples. What do you think about that? Where's it? Oh, shit, I didn't see that one coming. Oh, yeah. Maybe if you just would have accepted, hey, maybe there's no such thing as a free lunch. I'm going to use the same amount of water to water my lawn? What the no, come on. That's ridiculous. That's redonkulous. That's just not going to happen. The only way that it would work, and this is my invention because I've researched it, and the only things, at least that I saw, the only tripods that work with sprinklers, the only sprinklers that work with these tripods are the circular ones that go those ones. And I say, no, that's, again, you're going to get big hairy nipples that way. Get the Wailing Wall and hope the Israelis don't find out and bomb you because they think there might be rockets there. You get the wall, you get the tidal wave kind of sprinkler. You get that one. Get that one and put it up on a 4-foot tripod and let that one go. That will give you a more effective area covered because it's operating in the same plane. It's operating in the same plane as you raising it. And so there is no area that won't be covered in the entire, it is simply put, it is just lengthening the coverage area. It's going to be more of a flat rectangle more than a wide one, but I think there's going to be more area. And you won't have any big hairy nipples because when it's still vertical, that water will still fall down and hit the blades of grass immediately under the sprinkler. But I haven't seen it. So patent pending, motherfuckers. Don't you go trying to take that shit. It's mine. That's my idea. That's going to be my road to, I'm going to sell that shit to Lowe's, make a ton of money. That is what would really more effectively utilize water and water pressure to give a better coverage area for your lawn. But I haven't seen anybody do it. Patent pending. Now, a brief aside, I would talk to this all stemmed from me going on a run, and I want to take a brief aside here and talk about running and runners. I want a law, federal, state, county, municipal offender data system, whatever, it doesn't matter. I want a law somewhere on the books that really, really fit runners have to put fucking clothes on. Put your fucking clothes on, bro. Seriously, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. Not because it grosses me out. Not because I'm being homophobic. But when I'm trying to get my happy fat ass down the road in a nice double time or in a jogging setting to try to burn a couple pounds, the last thing I need is to see you running around in your sunglasses, shirtless, glistening with a nice tan, and holy fuck, I'm gay. No, I'm just kidding. The last thing I need is to see you running around showing off your 8-pack when you're when you're on mile 8 of your daily 10-mile run. I don't want to see that. That doesn't help anybody. You can run 5 miles a day, that's it. Once you've got an 8-pack, you run 5 miles a day, that's it. And you're putting on a fucking sweatshirt. Okay, you want to keep shedding pounds? Put on a sweatshirt, all right? I don't need to see you lean and mean. I don't need to see your lean, mean fighting machine. I don't want to see it. It doesn't help. It doesn't help anybody. Because I've been out and about and I've seen a few other pudgy people trying to get their run on. And seeing that person, that doesn't help. A lot of people think it does. They say, oh, well, when you see somebody with a better car than you, when you see somebody with a better house than you think, oh, I'm going to do this. I got to do this because I want to get that. I want to get that person's house. I want to get that person's car. I need to go about doing it. A lot of people like to pretend that incentivizes the have-nots to work harder to become one of the haves. And while that may be true intermittently, what it really does is it just pisses me off because that guy's got an 8-pack. And I realize I'm not going to have an 8-pack. That's just not going to happen. It's not a realistic goal. This guy's a genetic freak who runs 10 miles a day and has like 2% body fat or 3% body fat or whatever, and it's just he's running like it's nothing. And I'm 3/4 of a mile into my run and I'm gassed. And I'm like, oh shit, son of a bitch. And I still got to make it to a hill to run hills. And here's this guy just do. And another thing, similarly, this will be subsection B of this law. No more of those, like, skirt-style running shorts, okay? Put some fucking basketball shorts on. That's all. I don't need to see your shorts with the slit all the way up to your fucking hip, where if you probably just leaned the right way, your garbage will fall out for everybody to see. Nobody needs to see that. Nobody wants to see that. This is not 1975 anymore. Put some fucking basketball shorts on when you go for a run, okay? I don't need to see your garbage, your balls hanging out when you're going to go. I don't need to worry like, oh, if this guy stops to do some stretches or lunges, his balls are going to fall out. His big hairy balls are going to fall out for me to see. I don't know. No. Put some basketball shorts on. That's all we need from you. It won't motivate me. Seeing your balls and seeing your 8-pack won't motivate me to get myself an 8-pack. It won't. It's just going to, what it's really going to do is make me jaded, because then I'm going to find a way to hate you. Because I can't hate you because I can't make fun of you, or I can't riff on you because you're out of shape or you're fat or you're ugly or anything like that. I can't do any of that. Shit. He's probably, he probably, I don't know, fucks dolphins or something. I don't know. He's probably an idiot, or he probably sucks at video games. I feel better. Okay. No, I don't. I don't have to feel better about, you know, not being able to run as far as him or her, because I'm mildly intelligent. Yeah. All right. That makes me feel good. Oh, that's some good old, let me take it. Oh, that's some great rationalization right there. That tastes great. Oh. That's rationalization. A nice warm cup of rationalization. That's what that is. It doesn't help. Seeing the guy with the benzo doesn't do that for me. I see the guy with the Benz and I go, huh. I wonder which criminal Wall Street firm that guy works for. I'm not like, ooh, I need to go home and record more videos so that I can one day buy myself a Benz. I go, fuck you. Jealousy is not a good motivator. What people do when they say, well, look at me and look at what I have, you need to let the rich be uber rich, because that will make people think that they can pick themselves up by their bootstraps, and that will incentivize people to better themselves. I say, so what you're saying is that jealousy is the ultimate motivator. And I say no. Jealousy is a shitty motivator. Think about it like this. If you're in a relationship with somebody, guy, girl, doesn't matter, and you're jealous of their relationship with another person, again, guy, girl, doesn't matter. If you're jealous and you believe that your relationship is threatened by your significant other's relationship with another person, does it really incentivize you to be a better partner to the person you have? No, it turns you into an asshole. You go, ooh, what the fuck are you doing? Who is that? What are you talking to them about? Who's doing the what? Who are you talking to? When are you gonna go there? You're staying with me. You can't go there. You can't go there. You don't immediately look at yourself in the mirror and go, what have I done? What have I done? If we assume this jealous feeling to be correct, first of all, what have I done to, if not drive this person away, then blah blah blah. You don't get introspective when you're jealous. You get defensive. You go on the offensive to be defensive. Jealousy, in many respects, is the shittiest motivator you have, because it doesn't motivate you to help yourself. It doesn't motivate you to better yourself. It motivates you to shit on other people. It motivates you to be an asshole. So trying to motivate me by showing me a really nice car that I don't own, it's just going to motivate me to be like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? I don't have a Benz. I'm not going to say, oh man, maybe I should, go learn a trade, join a union, do this or that, or get into high finance, or blah 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 blah. It doesn't make me do that. And on that note, too, the super rich need to not pay their fair share, or not pay any more in taxes, because they need to have money to show off to other people, to incentivize them to pick themselves up. And I say, well, hold on a second then. Is everybody going to be a CEO? Is everybody going to be a rock star, a comedian, a professional baseball player, an astronaut? By the logic of people that say, or that even imply that being greedy and rich is good, that it's good to showcase being rich because, or that it's objectively good because it makes people want to do this or that. I say, so wait a minute. That means anybody that perceives jealousy about these nice things, about these rich things, are they going to be CEO? I'm not going to be a CEO. I'm not going to be a professional baseball player. I made that okay with myself a long time ago. I still watch professional baseball, and I still stay up on the contracts, guys signing for 25, 35, hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes. I'm not jealous about that. And furthermore, being jealous about the haves in professional baseball is in no way going to motivate me to be a professional baseball player, because I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no market for me unless I somehow have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that I have yet to uncover, which probably very unlikely. Unless I've got a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and a 93-mile-an-hour slider sitting somewhere, I'm not going to I'm not making it to the MLB. And there's no amount of montage workouts that will allow it to happen. Just like rich people need to have more disposable income to buy nice things or to accrue more wealth and have 35 houses, and they're all, they're not covered by capital gains, or they are capital gains, and that's, some much smaller percentage of income tax than regular stuff, because it's not their job to be a real estate speculator. It's more of just it's again covered in capital gains. You need to be able to do that, because having rich people, having a super elite rich is really good, because then other people will be like, ooh, I want that. I'm going to go about doing that. Wait a minute. No, there are some people who are just not going to be real estate moguls for whatever reason. There are people that are just not going to be CEOs for whatever reason. Don't try to tell me that you're going to motivate through jealousy society to get people to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. Because, and again, I go back to high school physics, and I have this whole pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I say, did you take a physics class in high school? It's not possible, right? And I know people, that's a cliche. Right, because it's fucking nonsensical. It doesn't make any fucking sense to say, pick yourselves up by your bootstraps. It's not fucking possible. It's absurd. Even in the realistic sense, it is patently absurd to tell somebody to pick themselves up by their bootstraps or pick themselves up by their belt. It's absurd. Oh, well, it's just a euphemism for help yourself. I know, that's the point. The euphemism is fucking absurd. Because when it applies to helping yourself, oh, well, I don't like being a burger flipper at McDonald's. Some people would say, some super rich would say, well, why don't you go learn a trade? Why don't you go back to school? And the guy said, and the guy flipping burgers said, well, I work at fucking McDonald's. What do you want me to do? How am I going to go about helping myself if I flip burgers at McDonald's? How? Tell me how. Tell me how. Well, public dole? Well, you're against that. You're against the public dole. So don't try to tell me, oh, well, you can get a student loan, this or that. No. I'm not getting financial aid because you're against the public dole. That's the public dole. Oh, you can get a student loan. Really? With what credit? I work at fucking McDonald's, bro. What am I going to do? It's nonsensical. This notion of pick yourself up by your bootstraps. No. You have to be able to help yourself before anybody else can help you. Bullshit. There's a lot of ways that society at large can help, quote, the poor or the underprivileged or the less skilled or no skilled workers. And it doesn't involve just looking at them and saying, well, if I paid even a reasonable tax rate on the millions of dollars I earn and that was put into an educational fund for underprivileged people, or even a fraction of that was put into an educational fund for underprivileged people, probably I could send a lot of you to school or to a trade school. Just even though that may be the case, fuck you, go help yourself. Oh, well, shit. Okay. That's pretty hardcore. Picking yourself up by your bootstraps is just, it's nonsensical, wasteful shit. All right, let's do some news, shall we? I like that idea. We got a lot to talk about in the news today. We got Con Air directors. Says he'd like to make Con Air 2 in space. Alabama officials pray to reduce to fight against EPA regulations. Woman with Skywalker middle name, his passport application rejected, and the Bank of America ordered to pay $1.27 billion for hustle fraud. And if we have time, we'll talk about Twitch TV being bought by Google. It's the news of Lefty. We've been talking about the world of high finance and picking yourself up by your bootstraps and Wall Street criminals for a long time on this show. This is from Reuters. A federal judge on Wednesday ordered Bank of America Corp. to pay $1.27 billion penalty for fraud over shoddy mortgages sold by the former Countrywide Financial Corporation. U.S. District Judge Jed Rakoff in Manhattan ruled after a jury last October found the second largest U.S. bank liable for the sale by Countryside of defective loans to government-controlled mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Rakoff ordered former mid-level Countrywide executive Rebecca Marone, who was also found liable and was the only individual charged, to pay $1 million, citing her, quote, leading role in the fraud and calling some of her testimony implausible. While the bank's penalty was below the $2.1 billion sought by the U.S. Department of Justice, it marks another legal defeat for Bank of America over its disastrous July 2008 purchase of Countrywide, which has cost tens of billions of dollars in litigation, loan buybacks, and write-downs. Bank of America has also held talks on another potentially multi-billion-dollar settlement to resolve separate government probes into mortgage securities, including from Countrywide and its Merrill Lynch unit. The case centered on a countrywide lending program that ended around May 2008 and was known as High Speed Swim Lane, HSSL, or Hustle. Investigators said the program emphasized quantity over quality, rewarding employees for producing more loans and eliminating checkpoints designed to ensure the loan's quality. While HSSL employees lasted only 9 months, while the HSSL process lasted only 9 months, it was from start to finish the vehicle for a brazen fraud by the defendants, driven by a hunger for profits and oblivious to the harms thereby visited, not just on the immediate victims, but also on the financial system as a whole, Rakoff wrote. The Charlotte, North Carolina-based bank's liability was based on the $2.96 billion that Rakoff said Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac paid Countrywide for 17,611 suspect hustle loans. Rakoff said that that was the appropriate standard of the Financial Institution Reform, Recovery, and Enforcement Act, which was adopted after the 1980 savings and loan scandal and the basis for Bank of America's liability. The $1.27 billion penalty reflected findings by a government expert that only some of the loans had material defects, while others were acceptable. $1.27 billion for handing out, Bank of America handing out shoddy loans, rewarding employees, saying, hey, I know you can't, I know there's all these things that we're supposed to do about, making sure the loan is secure and making sure that people can actually pay it back, but fuck all that shit, dude. Fuck it. Just, here, I'll give you an extra $500 for every $10,000 loan you bring in for the next 3 months. That's it. That's all. You just bring them in. Just churn them and burn them, baby. Churn them and burn them. Churn them and burn them was the call, resulting in suspect loans all over the place. And I talk a lot about on the show about we punish a lot of people for crimes and we put a lot of people in jail for bullshit crimes, but we also as a society don't punish actual fucking criminals for crimes and don't put a lot of actual fucking criminals in jail. If you're a mother and you let your 7-year-old son walk a half mile to a suburban park past a public school, well, you're a felon now. Charged with a fucking felony. You're just moving a little pot, trying to make some money, and you could wind up in jail for life. Nonviolent drug crime. You don't even own a gun, haven't shot a gun, haven't shot anybody, haven't hurt anybody, haven't hurt anybody, haven't destroyed anything. You're in jail for life. Felony drug charges for just possession, mere quote intent to distribute. You can be charged. You are a fucking felon. You have a bit too much to drink behind the wheel. You don't hurt anybody. You're stopped at a drunk stop. Bam, $10,000 to defend yourself. And get a hardship license and all the things that you got to do. We fuck people's lives up for nonviolent shit, bullshit, all the time. But now you've got a bunch of criminals on Wall Street sitting in front of a judge and a fictional person in Bank of America and Countrywide Financial Corporation who actively engaged in fraud, defrauded the American people, defrauded investors, and again, to a greater extent, defrauded the American people actively. And they say, yeah, we know these things are shit. We know they're ticking time bombs. But if we churn them and burn them enough, we can package them into some kind of bond or some kind of supposed debt leverage system that we can sell off to investment firms and make a lot of money. And then it's their problem, not ours. And then we get a ton of money back, or we get a ton of fucking money because, hey, hey, check this out. Guess what? We loaned out $1 billion. There's $1 billion in debt coming your way. We'll sell it to you for the low, low price of $500 million. You in? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's do it. All right. Sweet. $500 million. Bam. All right. Next month, $2 billion in loans. We got $2 billion in receipts coming in. Come on. Any takers? Who wants some? Oh my God. And by the way, these are backed by Bank of America. Oh yeah. This can't win. Can't lose. Can't lose. Something for nothing. Work smarter, not harder. All the catchphrases. Churn them and burn them. Greed is good. Gordon Gekko, lick my balls. And they knew the whole time. Actively engaging in fraud. Yeah, these things are fucking awful. These things are going to self-destruct. And it's going to be bad when it does. But, you know, we make a couple $1 billion before anybody figures out. And what's the worst that can happen, right? It's not like anybody's going to go to jail. Exactly. And a woman on trial in front of a judge for actively engaging in fraud, in mortgage fraud. $1 million fine. No jail time. No crime. No arrest. No perp walk. No nothing. Meanwhile, some poor mother let her son, oh yeah, go out and play. Go out and play. Go to the park. Yeah, sure, have fun. Some poor mother is a fucking felon. Some poor guy trying to roll up a joint, trying to get high, because he doesn't like going to that part of town to get weed, so he buys a couple months' supply of weed from his dealer just so he can get high after work and play video games after work. And he does that, and he gets caught with a large amount of pot, and the cops are like, oh, shit, intent to distribute. Bam, felon. But you actively engage in mortgage fraud and securities fraud, well, you're just, no jail time, no nothing. No crime, no nothing. Just pay a fine and go on about your business. Again, Robert Duvall, great fucking scene in a civil action. A fantastic, one of John Travolta's most underrated films. I encourage you all to see it, to find it and see it. I looked it up. It's not on Netflix. It may be on Amazon Instant Video. It seems like one of those things that would be available for Prime users. Go watch that movie. Go watch that film. It is fantastic. And Robert Duvall, when talking about Jan Schlickman's lawsuit against him, said when RW Grace Corp was freaking out, he said, you get a fine, what do? You pay it and you go on about your business. Pay these people, make them go away, and just go on about your business. It's chicken shit compared to whatever a judgment might be. So you pay a fine and you go on about your business. Oh, shit, nobody's going to jail? Nobody charged with nothing? Okay, $1.27 billion? Fuck it. Whatever. What did they make? More than $10 billion. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. How much is that pseudo person, Bank of America, Merrill Lynch? How much are they pulling in? Okay. And it's okay. Mortgage fraud, active loan fraud, defrauding people. Defrauding, again, to some extent, the American people, not a crime. You got a little bit too much pot on you, or you let your kid walk to a park, felony. That's our, and it's just, yeah, this is it. This is on Reuters.com. I should be happy that this is more of an antiseptic, just reporting of the news from Reuters. Okay, or I think is it Routers? I say Reuters. I don't know. I've heard routers or Reuters. I don't know. I should be happy with this, but where are the people saying, what the fuck? How are people not going to jail for any of this? Mother of God. Even if you just have to make shit up, make it up. Put somebody in jail. Find a way to put somebody in jail just so the rest of the people think, oh shit, we can go to jail for this? I didn't know that. Did you know that? Did you know that we could go to jail? No, I thought we couldn't. This guy just went to jail for this. Fuck. And who cares? You let him out a couple of years later. No, I don't care. Put him in minimum security in the, club fed, whatever. Let him be let him work the golf course on an Air Force base or something. I think that's like some work program that they do for people in federal penitentiaries. They rake the bunkers at Air Force golf clubs. Let him do that. Fine, fuck it. Yeah, you go away for 2 years. You get the, you get that treatment and you come back. But just so that somebody somewhere has to say, I didn't know we could go to jail for this. Give people reason to pause and think, because the allure of money, our society, we've become so wrapped up in expressing our value, our worth as humans in dollar bills, the mere allure of money. Hey, you might make a lot of money off of this. Fucking really? Oh, a lot of money? Okay. What are we gonna do? Well, you need to just remove all the checkpoints and give people loans that they can't pay back, and then we're going to package them into securities or bonds or something and sell them to investment firms. They're ticking time bombs of shit, but who cares, right? We're making a lot of money. Oh, money. No, okay. Fuck them all. Yeah. Let's do this. Money. Because my sense of self-worth, my sense of value as a human, the value I ascribe to my very consciousness is wrapped up in and solely expressed by dollar bills. That's become our society. That's become our way of life for way too many people. And it results in ridiculous things. It incentivizes greed. It incentivizes underhanded, shady dealings. And that's what we do. And it's, oh, yeah, bam, yeah, money. Woohoo, it's great. Capitalism, yeah. All right. This is what you want? That's not what I want. SS human experience is not nudged anyway by how much you have in your fucking bank account. And yes, I know Bill Gates is the greatest philanthropist to have ever lived. Hasn't done shit, relatively speaking, for SS human experience. His philanthropy has done diddly squat for SS human experience. Nothing, especially relative to me, relative to you, nothing. So what? He's got a lot of money. So what? He's helping a lot of people. That's good. It's commendable. We should yes, reward that, but don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, he's changing humanity for the better. No, he's not. He's just helping people, which is good. It's not bad. It's not at all bad. But it's not. He's not pushing human experience, SS human experience, in any greater direction than you, me, anybody else. Just because he's got a lot of dollar bills does not necessarily mean that he or his ways should be emulated. They should stand on their own. Helping people should stand on its own. But the fact that he has a lot of money, the fact that some people have accrued a lot of money, is by no means and should in no way be even an attempt at an approximation of their worth or value as a human. No. Oh, fuck that. No. I reject that hypothesis because I know a lot of assholes with a lot of money. There's a lot of assholes out there that have a lot of money in the bank. But going by the logic of, ooh, money means you're successful, money means you're valuable, money means you're a great person, those people are now great people. I say, they're not. They're definitely not at all. Roger Sterling is a character in Mad Men. Roger Sterling, too. And the character has a lot of money, but he's a fucking asshole. Donald Sterling, fucking asshole, but he's got a ton of money. Your value is not wrapped up. Your value is not expressed in dollar bills. In other news, it's from opposingviews.com. The Alabama coal industry opposes proposed regulations by the EPA that would reduce harmful pollution from coal-fired plants by 27%. Now, members of Alabama's Public Service Commission, PSC, are jumping on the pro-coal bandwagon and are trying to bring God along for the ride. God, didn't know if anybody knew this. God loves to roll coal. He rolls coal on some motherfuckers. If you're sporting a crescent moon somewhere on your car, coal roll. You got the Star of David dangling from your dash, or dangling from the rear view, or you got the Israeli flag flying on a bumper sticker, getting coal rolled. Jesus loves himself some coal rolling. PSC president, I don't know if this is a real name. I'm going to treat it as though it is, and I'm going to laugh at it, but I reserve the right to come back later and say, oh, never mind, it wasn't real. PSC president Twinkle Andres Kavanaugh Commissioner Jeremy Oden, Commissioner-elect Chip Beaker, and Republican National Committeeman Paul Reynolds recently held a press conference in the offices of the Alabama Coal Association, noted AL.com. They claimed the proposed EA rules would be an assault on our way of life, quote, an assault on our way of life, end quote, in our intentional effort by President Obama to kill jobs, but failed to mention the harmful effects of pollution or global warming. Quote, we will not stand for what they are doing to our way of life in Alabama, end quote, said Kavanaugh. We will take our fight to the EPA. I hope all the citizens of Alabama will be in prayer that the right thing will be done. Who has the right to take what God's given a state, added Beaker. The Obama administration should be concerned about a potential world at war instead of something dumb like a war on coal, added Reynolds. What we're dealing with is government run amok. The PSC has a history of trying to claim God is on their side. RightWingWatch.org reported last year that Kavanaugh introduced John Delwyn Jordan, who opened a meeting with prayer against gay marriage and abortion. Quote, we've taken you out of our schools. We've taken you out of our prayers. We've murdered your children. We've said it's okay to have same-sex marriage, God. We have sinned, said Jordan. Now, look, I don't believe in God. I don't believe that there's been any kind of evidence to substantiate claims made by religious people. Any religion, whatever it is. Young earthers, creationists, intelligent designists, whatever. No evidence. At best, what religion has is a continual moving of the goalposts. At best, what religion can claim is, well, what if God created the singularity? What if God exists outside of our universe and created the singularity? And we can't see or reason past singularities, so there's no way you can disprove God. That's the ultimate ace in the hole for intelligent design, creationist, God squad people. And there's no arguing against that because they're right. We can't see or reason past singularities. It can't happen. This universe began in a singularity. The Big Bang. The entire mass of the universe was balled up into an infinitesimally small point. It was a point. Anybody that takes geometry know points take up no space. They're just theoretical expressions of position. Okay, you move the goalpost that far, I can't argue any other way, but you don't have any evidence otherwise. You've got no evidence other than, well, what if the thing that created the singularity was God? Say, well, I think the thing that created the singularity is quantum foam. Blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing. God or no God, intelligent design, evolution, creationism, no matter what, either there's no, we'll assume for a moment that there is some supernatural being, some omnipotent being in the sky, in the universe, or that created the universe or something and is somehow looking down and interacting with us. How you interact from outside the universe, I don't know. But we'll assume that to be true for the second, okay? All right, let's assume that. Why in the fuck would supernatural omnipotent Jesus or God or Allah or Zeus or whatever or Spaghetti Monster, why would they fucking care about rolling coal in Alabama? Why would they care? Why would they care? And if there's an omnipotent being receiving messages from followers that say, dear Jesus, please come down against evil President Obama so that he stops restricting our usage of coal and our way of life here in fucking tit-fuck Alabama. Please, dear baby Jesus, praise be to Dale. If you're an omnipotent being and you get messages like that, what the fuck do you want? You want me to care about coal in fucking Alabama? Stop. Religious people. And some of you say, there's not all religious people. Fuck you. You're in the same club as them. Get your members under control. It's the same thing. Control your old lady or control your old, there's not old guy, that's old man as your father. Control your husband or control your significant other in social situations or control your children in social situations. Same thing here. Control the people in your club. Let's stop pretending that God gives any kind of crap about what we're doing here on this planet. About coal, about Obama's proposed EPA regulations, proposed regulation of coal usage, of coal burning, of coal-fired power plants. Let's stop pretending that Jesus or God would waste their time. Let's stop pretending that a supernatural being would waste their fucking time on any of that. Let's just stop. They don't care. If they exist, they don't fucking care. And if they do, I don't want any fucking part. I don't want any part. Even if God came down and said, yes, I exist, and number two, I care about these kinds of things, I say, fuck that. Fuck that, I'm out. I don't care. I will go to your hell. I don't want any part of you if you are going to micromanage your talent like that. You don't micromanage a talent. You don't do it. When you are in a managerial position, you do not micromanage what people do. When you give people a task, you say, here, go do this, it would be in your best interest to let them go about and act semi-autonomously and accomplish a goal. And if they don't accomplish the goal, well, then you reprimand them for it. But you're not always in their face. What are you doing? What are you doing this? Why didn't you do that? Why haven't you done this? You should do this. This would be great. This would be better than that. We should do this. This is, I think, the better thing. You don't fucking do that. Don't micromanage your underlings. Let them go on about their business because theoretically, you've got more important things to do. That's why you're management. You're management. If you as management delegate responsibility for some project, but then you're in the trenches trying to accomplish that project, well, then why the fuck are you a manager? You're just going to be a frontline grunt doing the work. If you say, oh, well, I can do it better than any of them. Okay, well, then that's what you're going to do. God, in any shape or form or variety, would be stupid to try to micromanage humans to that level. It would be, and more to the point, because operating back from a perspective where I don't believe such a thing exists, we need to stop having elected officials pretending as though God cares. God doesn't care. Okay? I don't want to hear about why God or your religion or your beliefs, I don't want to hear for a fucking second why your beliefs play a role in whatever you're trying to legislate or whatever legislation you're trying to fight. I don't want to hear it. God doesn't care about coal in Alabama one way or the other. God doesn't care about two dudes getting, quote, married in the legal sense of the term. God doesn't care. Stop trying to trick dumb people into thinking God gives a shit about these kinds of things. Make your argument. Don't include God. Don't hide behind God. Don't use God to bootstrap your argument. Make your argument. Make your argument to your constituents, to the people you govern, and say, this is what we're going to do, or this is what I want to do. And now we vote. That's what we fucking do. We don't appeal to God. Appealing to God is bullshit. Appealing to God tells me that, well, you probably don't believe a whole lot in what you're saying right now. I'm less inclined to believe anything you have to say if you have to bolster it with Jesus. If you have to bolster make the thing of, there's a lot of jobs in coal. A lot of jobs in coal in Alabama. And coal, I mean, we have nothing coming online. The other things are way more expensive than we believe. The other forms of producing energy, way more expensive, way more complicated, way more prone to failure. It's going to fuck us all up. It's going to fuck up the grid. It's going to screw everything up. We have a lot of coal. We know how to use it. Let's put more money into researching how to remove harmful things from the production of electricity via coal-fired power plant. Do that. Don't tell me about God. Make your case without God. That should be legislative acts and fighting legislative acts should be free. They should be secular. There's no room nor need for Jesus in the halls of Congress or in the thick bound volumes of law in our society. There's no need nor room for theistic belief. There's no room nor need for theistic higher powers in the way we legislate ourselves. Because eventually, somewhere down the line, somebody's going to use that to start fucking with other people. And we're not going to know how to handle it. Because we're going to say, well, God says it's okay, but I don't believe in God. Rule doesn't apply to me. Fuck it. These aren't rules. These are just requests. Play a regular set. All right, let's bring it home. Another great edition of The Lefty Show. I thank you all for joining me. I hope you had a great time listening. I had a great time putting on the show for all of you. Thank you to everybody for watching, liking, favoriting, and subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can go to find the show in its YouTube formation. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show with friends, family, and coworkers. Head on over to leftyshow.podbean.com. Manually subscribe to the RSS feed there. Or head on over to your favorite Android podcasting app of choice. Search The Lefty Show. Subscribe to us there. Or download the iTunes client. Head on over to the iTunes store. Search The Lefty Show. Help us climb the iTunes comedy podcast charts. Head on over to the iTunes store, search The Lefty Show, subscribe there. Help fight the patent troll. Head on over to adamcarolla.com. Find the Amazon click-through link. Go buy yourself something nice from Amazon. Tell them I sent you. Thank you guys for joining. Anyway, guys, that's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time. I'm out. Bye.
Hey, welcome to Con Air.